You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
We all have smartphones, and we all know they're pretty amazing, but they also can be amazingly distracting, especially when we're around other people. So US Cellular wants us to reset our relationship with our phones by putting down our phones for $5. That's right, a company that sells phones wants us to put down our phones. And to see what we find, learn more at uscellular.com/built for us.
Nick Carter is the most popular member of the Backstreet Boys. But shocking sexual abuse allegations against Nick are laid to bear in a must-see special. Emotional interviews from Nick's accusers and intimate details of how two celebrity brothers come to blows when Aaron comes to the defense of Nick's accusers. A detailed look at the family dysfunction in one of Hollywood's most famous families. Fallen Idols, Nick and Aaron Carter, a 2-night event, premieres Monday, May 27th at 9 on ID and stream on Max. Set your DVR.
The power sweep actually is the lead play in our offense. We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet, get an isolation with the linebacker. We tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Email us PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. Text us 865-658-5824. We are live on X and Rumble, here to talk a little Packers tonight. More specifically, little Week 5 recap, rewind, if you will. Packers going out to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. So we're going to dive into that, understand what happened, why it happened, and glean a little bit more knowledge as to why the Packers struggled so bad in the first half of the season. We're getting closer to the second half of the season where things get really, really good. I'm excited about that. But we got Tim live in Green Bay. We got Jacob in Wisconsin as well. I almost said Emilio in Wisconsin. That's scary to think if that guy moved over there, right? But
not till the draft this year or next year.
That's right. How's everybody doing tonight, fellas?
Doing good, man. Happy to be here. What's up,
I'm doing great.
Going Screw over there.
Too. I'm doing good.
There you go. So listen, it's such a weird thing. I will say this: thank you to everyone who's reached out. Everyone. I mean, there's been a ton of people message me and be like, "Hey, man, screw it, just do your thing."
They were all messaging you like,
right? Because it's just, I'm in business. It's such a weird way to do business.
Yep.
To not have a specific explanation. And literally in the rules say you're allowed to do this, and then get a copyright hit, and then them come back and go, okay, yeah, the owner is monetizing it now, which we wasn't monetizing it in the first place. The channel isn't monetized, and then now all of a sudden it turns into a strike. It's like, what are we even doing here? So for those of you who are wondering, we're off of YouTube for 7 days and can't get any answers, can't get a response. That's the other thing too. They had I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but just so you guys kind of understand, they used to have a chat feature where you could talk to them. You could talk to a representative, not on the phone, God forbid that. They had a chat feature where you could chat with them. That is gone. I can't. It's not an option for our channel right now. So that's not even. It's just read the policies. That's all it says. Read the policies. So it is what it is. We'll see. And look, YouTube may not be in the future. Regardless, we're live on Rumble. We're live on X. You guys can always get this in podcast form as well. And for everybody in our Patreon group, we'll make sure that we're always sending a link over there so you guys have access to it right off the bat as well. So, yeah, enough of that, though. Again, thank you to all of the Packernet listeners who've reached out. It's been a really cool outpouring. People just like, hey, man, do your thing. We support you. So, again, they can do what they want. It's all good. We're always going to be talking ball, right? That's the main thing. So
if you guys could check us out on Rumble, check us out on X. We have a lot of people from Rumble right now. I think I can tell. I see Chris, I see Eric, I see Bates, I see a lot of guys that got different handles. So it's a little bit, once I start seeing Eric's comments, I'm sure I'll understand where he is.
Yeah, United Bates. Oh man, Eric found Rumble off the rails. We hid it from him forever, and he finally found it. So, anything you guys want to hit on before we dive into the Raiders game here and kind of break down what happened, why did it happen, that type of thing? Anything at all? Go ahead, Jacob. You're grinning. You're grinning like a possum in a dumpster. Go ahead, bub.
No, it's just Eric. He's like the man that can't be killed. You can't get rid of me that easy. It's like the Undertaker when he rises up, Dun, dun. I really do appreciate you guys honestly following us, because a lot of people probably don't know that that's what's up, and they go to watch us on YouTube and they're like, "Oh man, we're pulling an Emilio. All of a sudden, we're just not showing up to do
shots fired."
You know what I mean? So, guys, just we really do appreciate it, especially, and it's Memorial Day. Thank you for anybody that's ever dedicated their life to the ultimate cause. And nowadays, that kind of dedication doesn't go unnoticed. So we appreciate you very much at PTA for sure.
Yeah, very well said.
Yes, sir.
Well said. All right, so let's do it. Let's dive into it, boys. This is week 5. You guys confirm that you can see this on the screen. Are we good to go here?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let's dive right into it. So we got her keyed up in the telestrator. We'll try to get the volume is always a little different on each different highlight reel. But let's see if this isn't too loud. So Packers first possession here. It's a 3rd and 2 play, 13:41 left in the first quarter. Looks like had a little gun trip set with the Y flex to the slot, and he is now shifting over in motion. That is Luke Musgrave. So let's see what happens on this play.
They hand it Dillon 3 straight times, and AJ picks up a first down.
Hey, that's a nice change of pace from the last game, right, Tim? 3 straight.
Yeah, this was, if I remember correct, this was a bit of an overcorrection. We might have ran a little bit too much in this one.
Right.
But it was good to see them committing to the run early, and then I think this is one of those we got away from it a little later. And rough, man. This is another one of those winnable games. We should have had this one.
Yeah, and just a little preview here, a little spoiler alert. This is probably the worst game that Jordan Love played all year. And I don't say that the dog on. I'm simply saying this is a good case study for, okay, here's what went wrong in Jordan's worst performance. If I remember correctly, I think he threw 3 interceptions. So let's kind of dissect those plays and see what went wrong. Was it accuracy? Was it timing? What have you?
They just getting John Perry's here and let him communicate it. Why not? Here's a carry by Dillon. He is able to pick his way and right to first down yardage. Looked like he got it. Down the middle.
Boy.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Let's roll it back and take a look. This is one of those plays that we talked about too. We were talking about it last night. I want you guys to focus in on the T swing here at the bottom. You've probably seen it right out of the gate. Watch the T is going to run a swing, right? Now, you've seen the inaccurate pass there down the middle of the field, pretty much into triple coverage. Lucky it fell incomplete here on this 3rd and 3. But watch this as we roll it in slow motion. Look at the T swing.
Oh, Patrick Taylor wide open.
Taylor, yeah.
Also, look up here.
Musgrave.
Yeah. Musgrave's like, come on, bro, let's go. That's what go ahead.
It should have been out already.
Yes.
Either one of these should have been out already.
Right. And this is
I don't know who Big E's blocking on this one either. He looks like he's looking for a hot dog or something.
He said, I've earned a playoff, y'all. I'm just going to sit this one out real quick. No, but this is what we talked about, Jacob, early in the year. When we say not playing on time, this is what we're talking about. Like you see, ball snapped, he looks left, then comes back to the center of the field. You've got to know right here, if you've got 3 bodies out there in the center of the field, there's a check down open somewhere. And these 2 guys right here are covering the same zone, right?
Yep.
So you've got 1 or 2. Now, listen, I understand this one up here with Musgrave. There's a good chance he gets tackled, but nonetheless, the ball's got to come out, and you've got to give your guys a shot at the play here. Now, it does look like him and Christian Watson, somebody ran the wrong route up there. You're not supposed to have 2 guys in the same spot. So maybe it could be that Musgrave was not supposed to run that route. I remember something about Matt LaFleur saying that. So that could be the problem too, that when Jordan looked left here, he could have looked up and right here went, what the hell? Okay, I got to go on to somewhere else. You know what I mean? they're running basically in the same vicinity. Does that make sense? You see how those guys are running the same spot there, Jacob?
I honestly, I do remember like a post-game conference kind of thing where LaFleur said like, yeah, Musgrave wasn't supposed to do that or whatever it was.
Right.
I do think that this is clearly early Jordan Love where he did not have that, like within 3 seconds, you got to make a decision. Within, basically within a second and a half, you have to make a decision. And right. I think the first 8 games show that he was playing at like a tortoise level. You know what I mean? Like he was not fast firing the ball and that kind of thing. And that's the biggest change I think you watched over the progression of his season is that he did to the point where he was like, I understand it now. I trust my guys. I know that they're going to be in a certain situation. I know that they're going to be in a certain route. So yeah, this is, it's tough. It's tough watching these games because it's growing pains is what it is.
Yeah. And that's why I believe that Matt LaFleur was so patient with Love too. Like, hey, there's a lot of stuff going on around him too, right? It doesn't mean that this is a positive play for Love. It just simply means, hey, look, this creates a problem for the defense they end up getting. Because as soon as you see 2 guys running in the same area, it's easy for a casual fan to go, but just throw the ball. Just throw the ball. I don't care if it's the wrong route. Throw the ball. That's not how an NFL offense operates. It's like at this point, it's okay. I gotta find somewhere to get the ball. Now, obviously, you had another route down here that you could have dumped it to as well. We're sitting on the couch 6 months later.
Yeah.
Talking about what he should have done. Right.
You see Ron. I'm assuming this is Ron from YouTube. This is crazy watching some of these tags that I think I know who they are. But
right.
Ron says he was looking for Watson and he was covered by Musgrave.
There you go. Love it. So, and also right here too, look at all this space right here for this receiver. Right. Yeah. You could have dropped it right in there. Instead, he goes deep and you can see that is not the right place.
Threw that ball towards the Bellagio on that one.
Down there toward the fountains, right?
Yep.
So again, this is arguably Jordan Love's worst game of the season. It's going to be good to kind of see, okay, this is why some fans are a little hesitant on the huge contract. I completely understand. And I've been on the record multiple times saying if he had played his best football in the first half of the season and then ended the season with this, I'm probably going, let's hold up on the contract. But again, he peaked the second half of the season. That's where I lean more towards, hey, look, let's pay him market value. Not overpay him, but pay him market value. So anyway, Raiders ball, 1st and 10, 10:21 left in the first quarter. We're out in a 34 jam, which means they're probably in some kind of a 12 look. They may be in 11, and we said the heck. Actually, we're not in a 34 jam. We're in a nickel. I'm sorry. Nickel 2-4-5. There's your 2 down linemen. There's your outside linebackers. There's your other 2 linebackers. So, yeah, we're in a nickel 2-4-5. And once again, for those saying we played soft, it's simply not true. Now you've got Rasul in the slot here playing bump and run. These guys roughly 7 yards off the ball, right? Roughly, give or take a yard.
Is that Jair on Devontae right there?
It sure is.
Yep, up top.
He's giving him a lot of cushion.
Because, again, not our words, Jair's words. He said that's how he prefers to play.
That's how I'd prefer to play if I had to line up across Tay. I'll tell you that. I'm going to let you juke me at the line of scrimmage.
Give me a few yards. Just give me a few yards, all right?
That's how I'd prefer to play for me covering my fat, out-of-shape self, trying to cover anyone who runs less than a 5.2 40. You know what I'm saying? So, here we go. Let's roll the tape.
10 giveaways already. Little play.
Woo-wee, boy. That's butt naked.
That's just a great play call.
Yeah. Perfect scheme.
Yeah, I mean Tay ran Ja out of the play, and then underneath is wide open.
Definitely. All right, next play, 2nd and 12 that we're going to show here. 9:10 left in the first quarter. And this is Garoppolo under center, by the way.
Just have not been able to get him going. Boy, Kenny Clark came across right at the center.
That's just tough right there, boys. That is tough. And again, you got a little bit of motion there that's going to cause some confusion. You see, let's slow it down here because I do want to watch Kenny. Well, you can see it right there on that still shot. Do you see the jump he got, boys? Watch Kenny here.
Wow.
That is, I mean, you can't time it any better, bro. You can't time it any better. So again, this motion here is what's causing problems, right? Let's see if they're playing man, because there was many times throughout the year that Jair was supposed to be playing man coverage, and when they used someone in motion, he just expected someone else to pick him. You can actually see Look at Rasul. Look and see the stripe on his helmet.
Yeah, like why aren't you coming over here?
What are you doing, bro? We don't have enough people to cover everyone in man coverage. That's another problem you have with man coverage. So Ja didn't follow, right? With Ja not following, now Quay's like, okay, you just got it's the damage control. What's that, Jacob?
No, that's such lazy defense. It's just
I don't know if it's lazy or Ja just overthinking it. I think he read run there and thought, I'm going to stay home and try and get this run fit. I don't know. Is that Jacobs there coming out of the backfield?
It is, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So did he see that? And then the play fake works perfect. And then here's Ja's man about to get a reception.
Right. Regardless, Tim, what it comes down to is this play call is man coverage. You could tell by the way the cornerbacks are. There's no if and then here. This is straight man. That's
what I'm saying. He's overthinking this and he's breaking the scheme.
Right.
You know, and now we have, like you always talk about, hat count. You got to stay with your man if you're in man.
Yeah. You see Sewell's like, oh crap, let me just get back here and do damage control. Now you see the backers are kind of playing, they're playing a little bit of match underneath. And that's what I heard all year long from people that I trust were saying there were some play calls where the corners were playing man and the backers were playing match, meaning if and then. That way
I was just gonna say, look at Quay. He's breaking hard on Devontae right there.
Yep.
Like he
Yep.
Probably because Sewell yelled something pre-snap when he looked over.
like, hey, watch out.
Come on, Quay, come on over here because Ja's not coming. Let's go.
Look at Zool. Yeah.
Frustrated. Yeah. So, all right, there you go. 3rd and 6 now. 7:20 left in the first quarter. Still the Raiders' ball. Here we go. What's that?
Sorry. Just if you can't convince me with $1 million, if you paid me $1 million, you can't convince me that Davante Adams doesn't want to be back on the Green Bay Packers. Aiden O'Connell is his quarterback right now.
Yeah.
The guy that he went there to go for was like his best friend. They shipped him off to New Orleans like in 2 seconds, bro.
They really didn't give a weird situation.
I'm gonna tell you, we need another receiver right now. Like we need another quarterback. Come on now.
I'm just saying, dude. It's just that guy has to be scratching his head, being like, "I messed up. I messed up."
Yeah, right. And you're not the only one that feels that way, Jacob. There's been many Packer fans say that very thing, right? So, all right, here we go. It's just funny that we're in the middle of a play here, and you're just like, "You're not going to convince me that Devontae Adams is happy with
I can't. I couldn't help. I can't hide it, man.
I love it.
His life.
Here we go.
At a time when you're not throwing it on time.
Kenny, as we're watching it back, Kenny had a great first half of the season. He really did. I mean, let's take it back for just a second. There's not too many good highlights for the Packers in this game. I want to see this jump he gets again. So with Kenny here, again, those people that were saying he's just playing nose. Right here, he is in what probably a 3-tech or a 4-eye. Okay, so that is not playing nose tackle. All right, let's just clear that up real quick. Let's watch the jump he gets here in slow motion. Look at that. So it's a little push, pull. Golly, dude, tackled him with one hand. Yeah, this is if we get this Kenny Clark that we got in the first half of the season, if we get that Kenny Clark this year in this 4-3 defense, I'm really excited about that. He's going to earn that third contract.
You can rewind it. You see Wyatt. Wyatt's a split second away too from just ruining that guy's lunch. Watch. Yeah.
Let's see here. Up top, right? So Devontae Wyatt, he's also in the other 4-eye. It looks like 4-eye or a 3-tech.
Kenny don't get there. Wyatt's getting there.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was being held.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Devontae Wyatt breaks out this year. I'm convinced. Because, again, that ranking 22nd in pressures amongst interior defensive linemen last year. If he could just straighten up the tackling and arriving, like Mike Wall says, how you arrive at confrontation determines how you handle confrontation. If he can play with more balance, Devontae Wyatt's going to be a menace. All right, so this is Packers ball, 1st and 10, 6:30 left in the first quarter. You see the defense stood tall.
Knocking out of box the 7, dude. Unreal. Here's Chilton breaking through.
There we go. Tackles and getting the running game going.
To the 14, a gain of 8. That was well done.
See, there's the play action.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Has a first.
Yeah.
Jeez.
My man, that's what I'm talking about.
It's almost if all those run plays set up the play action.
Tim, what are you talking about? Nobody's ever done that in the history of the game. All right, 1st and 10, 4:49 left. Now we're really, really quickly down to the 39-yard line. Looks like you got a little bunch nasty X here.
If they get any play action
out of the pistol.
Off of it and put some plays down the field, too.
Play fake.
Here is DeGuara.
Oof. Hey, DeGuara.
Love it. Big play there by DeGuara, man. It might be one of his only catches of the year, man. So, again, though, when he got the opportunity, I felt like he played pretty well. It seemed like they didn't see enough in him to build a game plan around him, if that makes sense. So 3rd and 8 play now. Packers are at the Raiders 18.5-yard line here. We're in a gun set. Looks like Dubs, strong left Dubs, nasty. T weak. Yeah, let's see what happens here. 3rd and 8 play, 2:46 left in the first quarter.
3rd down and 8.
Running a screen pass here, right? That's essentially what they were doing. Let's slow it down, see what went wrong here. To me, it looks like the problem with the screen pass, and I'm a big fan of the screen, don't get me wrong, especially if you're playing someone like the Raiders who's got a Max Crosby that plays with his hair on fire. But, Tim, when you're running a screen pass, it's like a 50-50 chance that it works. If the defense reads it, they're just going to drop back and take that throwing lane, right? So you're really it's all based on deception. It really is. So, yeah, in this case, let's see what happens.
We all have smartphones, and we all know they're pretty amazing, but they also can be amazingly distracting, especially when we're around other people. So US Cellular wants us to reset our relationship with our phones by putting down our phones for $5. That's right, a company that sells phones wants us to put down our phones. And to see what we find, learn more at uscellular.com/built-for-us.
Have you ever experienced turbulence on a flight and wondered why?
And you can see all the terrain around you. You've got no issue with visibility or anything?
No, everything's PG.
Maybe you've sat on the tarmac for hours wondering why your plane isn't moving.
Well, we're outside here. They're saying the ramp is closed. They won't let us park because of Air Force One.
Listen in on the conversations between pilots and air traffic controllers on the Air Traffic Out of Control podcast.
510 declaring an emergency. There's smoke in the cabin. I need to make a landing right now on 31 left.
We have the most interesting, wild, and funny ATC recordings you will ever hear. Check out Air Traffic Out of Control wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
So keep in mind they're setting up a mid-screen. Yep, see the defensive lineman grab AJ? He read it right there.
Yep.
He's like, no, sir. You ain't getting it over here on this side. That's why Jordan did the right thing and just threw it away. So sucks you take all that momentum away, you know what I mean, to bank on a 50-50 play there. But I'm sure they seen something early in the week, and again with their aggressive front four play that they could sneak one in on the backside there. Here's a 37-yard attempt by Anders Carlson.
Someone opposite of Max Crosby.
So
outstanding 6th-round pick from Auburn, knocks it through from 37. Boy,
I think he's been perfect up to this point in the season.
Yes, he was.
That's wild, man. Because I mean, yeah. Anyway, we'll get into the kicker talk. 1st and 10 play for the Raiders. Packers lead 3-0. First quarter, 2:38 left.
Because it's hurt the offense, but it's also hurt the defense where they've come about on the field. Garoppolo keeps floats. Michael Mayer. And this may be a coming out party tonight for number 87. He's got 2 catches.
Of course it is.
Job there by a rookie setting him back.
All right, 1st and 15, 1:36 left. Raiders ball.
5 yards.
All the way end around. Look at this. Lord have mercy.
Can I ask a question, Clay?
Absolutely, Bob.
If you rewind that just to the start of the snap there,
Mm-hmm.
when we now switch to our 4-3, if you notice, it looks like is that LVN and I think that might be Hollins up top. Somebody. It doesn't look like Gary. That stance, that 2-point stance,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to see that, right? With the 4-3, do you see us being able to contain edges better? Do you see us being able to contain the run better just because of the fact that we're in a 4-3? If so, why? And if not, why?
If we play in a 3-point stance, okay, as I've always done on this show, if there's something I don't know or don't understand, I'm going to say I don't know, I don't understand. But speaking to coaches, I'm under the opinion that, like, it can't be that big of a difference playing the run out of a 3-point stance, right? And every coach I've talked to said, oh, yes, it is. way easier to play the run from a 3-point stance. I don't understand it, but those are coaches that are in the trenches actually coaching. I am not. I'm not going to sit here and let my ego convince me that I know. Multiple coaches have told me that, one of which was Coach Hahn, another down here in Tennessee. So now to answer your question, everyone who thinks all of a sudden we're just going to have our hands in the dirt with all 4 of these defensive linemen, if you go and watch Boston College last year, they didn't do it every single play. There were times that they came out in a nickel formation. See right here, what this looks like to me is that is actually a corner or a safety right here. That's what you call spur, okay? Which that's a tight end, so that's probably the safety that's creeped up there. So this looks like it would be a 4-3 defense, right? There's your 4 down linemen. Here's your 3 linebackers. The difference is that's actually a safety right there, okay?
Right.
So with that being said, at Boston College, Hafley did this. He would have the edges stand from time to time. Now, if you go, okay, he plays college, he's going to call the game at the NFL level different. I believe that. I don't know if this aspect will apply, but if you go and watch the 49ers, their hands are always in the dirt up front. Okay. If you go watch the Jets, we seen it on the tape when I started to break that down after the Hafley hire. Like, okay, I'm going to go dive into the Jets because of his Robert Saleh ties to the old Pete Carroll style defense. They would have those guys stand up occasionally. If you go to Houston, they would have those guys stand up occasionally on the edge. So I don't know the answer to that question. I think that some people have convinced themselves, yeah, we're running a 4-3. The people that are saying that, they don't even understand that that's only going to be 25% of the time that you're going to actually be in a 4-3, 4 down linemen, three linebackers. And in some cases, as Goody talked, as they drafted Oladapo and some of these other safeties they drafted, they're going to be playing some big nickel, which means instead of a 4-3, this would be a safety right here, right? So it would still be technically a nickel, but they're going to have a safety in the box to play that third linebacker position. That's what you refer to as big nickels. So did that answer your question, Jacob?
Yep. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that we're never going to see the outside linebackers standing again. I think you'll see.
I got one real quick other thing. Like, were you surprised at the fact that the Raiders spent their first round draft pick on Brock Bowers when last year they spent their first round draft pick on Michael Mayer? Like, how does that happen? I don't think that's ever happened in the history of NFL teams where they went back-to-back tight end ones in the draft.
I'm not surprised. When they made the pick, I said, interesting. And here's the reason. Last year, Michael Mayer was the best tight end in the draft, according to my board. This year, Brock Bowers was hands down the best tight end in the draft, according to my board. Both of them, when they picked, were in the top tier, the current top tier of talent on the draft board. What the Raiders did was they stuck to the draft board. Now, you heard this wonky story come out that they flipped the coin between Brock Bowers and some other defensive player. That's a little strange to me. There's got to be what we call cluster busters. That's what Daniel Jeremiah calls them. If you've got guys with the same exact grade on them, then you've got cluster busters, these tiebreakers where it's okay. If these guys are available, we're going to go with this guy because of this. The fact that the Raiders, if that's true that they flipped the coin, somebody's smoking the reefer out there. that blew my mind, but I think it might be legal in Vegas, so that could be the case.
Yeah.
Perfect drop. So yes, that's that. Yeah, I was okay with it because you can go 12 personnel, and here's the thing: both Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is more of a receiving tight end than a blocking tight end. Michael Mayer, I think, is a more well-rounded tight end. It doesn't mean he's a better tight end, but he's definitely more equipped to block. They're going to be able to really manipulate defenses with 12 personnel. Put them on the field, and it's really 11 personnel. And if a defense plays it like 11 and puts that nickel back in as opposed to their base, then guess what? Then you put him in tight, and you've got the hat count advantage in the running game with 2 tight ends to block on one of those defenders that's going to have to play in the box is going to be a defensive back as opposed to a linebacker. So, and if a team comes out and goes, okay, when there's 12 personnel on the field, they're running the ball a lot. They watch the last 4 game saturation, and it's okay. Yeah, they're running the ball a lot out of this 12 personnel. Then you flex Brock Bowers out. Now you've got a linebacker or a safety trying to cover Brock Bowers single coverage.
That's a good point. What I actually read, I follow a lot of fantasy stuff just, because that's what I do. And they're saying that the Raiders are saying that Dylan Lobby, giggity, kind of weird date rape face guy, is showing out, and Michael Mayer is showing out in camp. So just keep that on your undercover radar there. So
yeah, Tim, we might have a giggity alert coming up here this year, man. You never know.
He lost me at date rape face.
He does.
Hey, I'm telling you, he acted really weird at the combine, but he allegedly acted weird. Let's protect ourselves here.
Yeah. He loves the camera. He loves the camera. That's just all.
Yes, he does, and that's a bad sign for That's a bad sign for someone who looks and acts like Quagmire. So, all right, 1st and 15, Raiders ball, 135 left. This is going to be a 4-hour show. What the hell are we doing? Here we go. Now, you guys have heard me defend Joe Barry all year long. This right here is a scheme problem. LVN is not, you can tell his call isn't to get out here, it's to shoot the inside gap. There's going to be so much space out here. Again, to me, this looks like man coverage right here. That's the problem with man coverage. Just watching Bell.
5 yards.
Seeing Bell?
Oof.
Look at that. I mean, that is a scheme problem. That's 100% on Joe Barry. That's a bad play call.
That rookie gets it. Maybe that's why he was a little eager to start. He's got a first down.
All right. Later on that drive, 3rd and 5, 15 seconds left in the third quarter. They are now in Packers territory at the 40-yard line. Yo, look who it was. Devontae White and Preston Smith. Let's watch this one. Let's go 50% here. We got to go kind of quick. We're falling behind fast. But let's see what happens here. Keying on Devontae White. I felt like he was in the backfield sooner than Preston Smith, but watch those two guys here. Look at Devontae, man. Devontae's got some reach on him. You notice how he just presses guys off of him, Tim? You notice that?
Yeah,
like
man.
He really does.
He's been
Preston
doing a lot of
beats
work.
his guy like a drum, too.
Dude, Devontae White, like if you do a 5-step drop, he's coming for you. You don't have that time. Like he's coming for you.
Yep. Yeah, he's as good as they come with the pass rush, man, no doubt. It's just the way he uses his hands too, But the way he just fought through that block and Preston just absolutely. This is the look you're looking for in offensive lineman if you're playing defense.
Yes, look at that.
Yeah,
he needs to learn how to finish, man. He does because he sets himself up and he just doesn't finish. That's the problem.
Jimmy G's like, oh crap. Look at his body language, just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Jacob said he needs to learn how to finish.
That's what she said.
All right, so there you go. Let's roll it. Here we go. Let's go back to 100% so it's not slow motion. Again, big sack there from Preston Smith and Devontae White.
Garoppolo's in trouble again, and down he goes. Second time he's been sacked by Preston Smith.
Oh, Preston.
He's in there with Devontae Wyatt.
All right. You see the defense doing their job here, right, fellas? Packers are up 3-0. 14:53 left in the second quarter. Packers ball, 1st and 10. I think I remember this play. If I do remember this play, I remember thinking, why are we throwing on first down? The run is working. Watch our boy right here, dump truck.
At home against Dallas. What's shaping up as an important game for the Cowboys.
It's coming up.
Here's the tight end.
Ben Sims. Look at that.
Bro, Ben Sims impressed me last year.
I'll take him over Tyler. That's for sure.
He went around Marcus Peter. 3rd down, 11.
Rocking ball.
I mean, even if that's complete, that ain't getting us a first down.
No, absolutely not.
Is it crazy too that we use Patrick Taylor way more than I thought we did in the first?
No, we definitely did. You could tell LaFleur really liked Patrick Taylor on passing plays for his pass blocking ability, and they really want to get him the ball.
Does that maybe tell that? I think we're going to see more of Marshawn Lloyd than people are thinking. I really do.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. Yeah, and I think A.J. Dillon took a huge step forward last year in the passing game too. If Marshawn Lloyd comes out in camp, he's a little slow to pick up the playbook, a little slow to get acclimated to the pro game. I think A.J. Dillon's going to be very involved with the passing game, and we know Josh Jacobs is going to be.
Yep.
All right, 1st and 10 play for the Raiders, 12:37 left in the second quarter.
This time the Raiders have the ball down by 3. Illuminor in the 10.
Who it is?
Rudy.
Kind of cool that we're getting to watch Josh Jacobs in this game, right? So 3rd and 11 play, 10:03 left in the second quarter. Raiders ball.
Let it go like we saw last night from Brock Purdy. Setting up the screen. This
Look at
is
that.
And Amir is wrapped up.
All right, so 3rd and 5 later that drive. 8:29 left in the second quarter. Still the Raiders ball. They are at the Packers 35-yard line.
At the top of the screen now. That's Myers. First down as he spins inside the 25.
4th and 1 play right here.
Look at that. We got Ngare in there.
Carter gets it. First down Raiders.
Honestly, that was a good play by Nixon right there.
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd and 6, 4:14 left in the second quarter. Packers still lead 3-0 there now at the Packers 9-yard line.
Jonathan Taylor just got his deal in Indy. Here's a pass. Down touchdown. Jacoby Myers. Raiders on top. Great job.
All right, Packers ball down 7-3, 4:09 left in the second quarter, 1st and 10.
Converted some 3rd downs and 4th down as well on that.
This may be the play I was thinking of.
A down on 3rd down they have not been very good on. Wow.
Yeah, so he just threw it right to dump truck. And again, this was the bad part of Jordan's game early in the year. It's kind of a blind play. It's really not a blind play action because it's kind of one of those ride and read play actions. So he's looking at the defender. He just lost sight of him somehow, some way.
3rd down they have not been very good on. Wow. Spillane right to him.
Oh, look at Reed.
Reed getting 5.
Down inside the 10.
Bro.
All right, so obviously 3rd and goal, 2:40 left. That interception kind of loses you the middle 8 by default, at least the first half of the middle 8. And, here we go, 3rd and goal Raiders.
Adams.
Great job by Preston Smith.
By Preston Smith, who came ready to play tonight.
Just another day at the office for Preston Smith.
It doesn't mean
How about Preston Smith taking a pay cut too, man? Let's go.
Yeah, man.
you have to give up a touchdown, and to only give up 3 here is huge, which they do.
All right, 10-3, Packers trail. 1:53 left in the second quarter. Let's try to get some points on the board before halftime. 3rd and 11 play though.
Love comes underneath. Musgrave.
And see, this is what we're talking about, not playing on time. This is a tough look because look how open he is right out of the gate. That ball needs to come out early, man. And I know he's surveying the field, but watch. Get that ball in his hands right now.
Right.
Love comes underneath.
Yep.
Musgrave spun down. Good tackle.
So obviously, the offense struggling in the first half. 42 seconds left in the second quarter. 3rd and 10 for the Raiders.
3rd down and 10. Nothing there. Over the middle, a sliding grab by Myers. Four-man rush. Good protection, Myers.
Yeah. I remember this play. This was tough right here. I want you to look at how many people are around the ball right here. Look at that.
That's pathetic.
And again, savage. Like, I don't know what kind of playing that ball was there. That's just rough, man. So tough.
And on the play, an injured Packer.
That's great. So there's a 53-yard attempt here, a chance to go up on the middle 8, 6-0. The score is 10-3. See if they make it 13-3.
And a 53-yard drive by Daniel.
Oh,
I think someone got a hand on that one.
I thought that did too.
I think they may have. Yeah. So I think someone did get a hand on that, maybe barely deflected. It might have been Carl Brooks or Kobe Wooden, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But nonetheless, it's a missed field goal. So down 10-3, start of the second half. Raiders got the ball 2nd and 3. A little ganja smoke in the air here, obviously, from the fireworks.
Clayton, is there a chance you can rewind that back just to the start of that play?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Is this what you call a wide 9, what Gary is doing? Because there's obvious times where you think like Gary is trying to protect the edge. This seems like he's going just hair on fire, doesn't care. Right. Is that a wide 9 or is that a 7?
Well, it's kind of tough when you don't have someone over there. Let me do this real quick. Let me make this a little bit. So imagine that there is a tight end lined up right here. So he would be kind of in this area. So I could see how someone would call that a wide 7. If there were 2 tight ends, that would be what we call a wide 9 if he's on the outside shoulder. So to me, that would be, again, starting from the center, 0, 2, 4 over this tight end would be a 6. To me, it would probably be called like an 8-eye, which no one talks about 8-eye. Typically, when you get outside of the 7 tech, people just refer to it as a wide 9. Now, what's interesting, though, Jacob, and what you're pointing out here is 3 big body defensive linemen down, right? And then 1 outside linebacker edge right here. The reason being is because they flex the T out. That's what forced Preston Smith to go out in the coverage. And I know people love the poke fun about that. I've said it till my face is blue. I showed 6 different 34 front teams that ended up having edge defenders having to drop into zone and man coverage. It's a part of running a 34 defense. We won't have that this year because we no longer have those outside linebackers that are going to have to go out there and cover. But yeah, to answer your question, Jacob, I would probably refer to that as a wide 9. If someone wants to say, no, it's more of an 8-eye, okay, cool. That makes sense?
Yep.
All right. And the problem with the wide 9 is you take yourself out of the play sometimes, right? Yeah. That's the only best thing. So, but look at Wyatt closing the gap right here.
Second down, nothing out to his right, comes back across for the first down completion to Jakobi Meyers.
All right, 2nd and 13 for the Raiders, 12:56 left in the third quarter.
Garoppolo keeps is looking for Hooper. Now goes deeper downfield, picked up by Rudy Ford.
Josh McDaniels said, man, I wish I'd have got the fries instead of the onion rings.
You have plenty of time to order some fries a couple weeks after this game.
Exactly. So, again, Rudy Ford, I think he might have led the team in interceptions last year. Which it's not too late, Goody. Give him a call.
Looking for Hooper. Now goes deeper downfield, picked up by Rudy Ford.
All right, Packers ball, 4th and 2 at the Raiders 29-yard line. We are going for it. 11-13 left in the third quarter, still within the middle 8.
Here is Dillon, full head of speed and a big back.
I'm just going to say it. I'm excited about Dillon being back.
Yep, me too.
Especially for the price, my goodness. All right, 2nd and go, 8:33 left in the third quarter. Packers are now down to the Raiders' 5-yard line, trailing 10-3.
It's 2nd and goal. Again, Dillon.
Yeah.
Right into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Let's go. He has a place on his team. I'll say that for sure. He definitely has a place.
He has what?
He has a place. Like, he has a position on this team. Like,
absolutely.
You want to call him a running back 2? I honestly think he's probably running back 3, but he has, like, a 3rd and 1. We've all, I wish I could just get in this guy's ear and be like, dude, you are the largest running back that we've seen since Eddie Lacy. Can you just put your head down? Can you just do what you do? Like, when you're a catapult, like, just go, man.
I'm just so glad we didn't have to retire this.
John Deere green on a hot summer night. Hero Billy Bob loves Charlene.
It never gets old. If that pisses people off, good. I don't care. I think we've got bigger problems than a guy in his off time playing a farming simulator. The people are like, he needs to take his job more serious. It's funny, they're the same ones sitting on their rear end right now playing video games. So I don't know how that works. But all right, 3rd and 6 play, 7:34 left in the third quarter. Raiders ball, tie ball game, 10-10. Defense kept them in this game. Obviously, going down, driving down the field. AJ Dillon punching in, getting this thing tied up. Here we go. Look at that! Look at that look, boy. Joe Barry is so vanilla. Look at all those blitzers. That's wild.
Garoppolo has to get out.
Now Eric Wilson.
Oh,
was that Eric Wilson? 45?
You know it. You know it was.
To the sideline out of bounds.
Jimmy G knows who hit him. He knows that was Eric Wilson. Look at him. Yeah, get that dirt out of your helmet. Nice.
And again, that was an exotic blitz that was queued up. Let's go back here. We're at the 42-minute mark. We'll have to kind of go quick here. I've been saying it the whole show.
He's lucky he got that ball out because he got absolutely drilled.
Look at how many guys are mugging the line of scrimmage here, fellas. Look at this.
Is that 7? That's 7 dudes, right?
And they're all coming, right?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not only are they blitzing, Tim, I believe they got some stunt action going on here. Let's see if we can read TEET. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's go slow motion. All right, ball snap. Yep, look, see the twist in the middle?
Yeah. And look at the hack count downfield. We're still good. We got 4 defenders. We had 3 receivers.
Yep. So you fired an inside linebacker, and here's what you've got here in this situation. You've got T-E, right? Watch Preston. T-E looping off of it. See it?
Yep.
Bang.
He almost gets there.
Yeah. And then Eric Wilson's like, okay, you want to scramble, white boy? Watch this. Bang. Right in the kidney.
Hands up, too. Just good technique by Wilson as well. He just plays the position real fundamentally sound. I love to see it.
He does, man. I'm so glad he's back on the team, too. Not just special teams either. I think he's going to fill in a pinch.
My helmet. Yep.
My helmet's dirty. Help me. All right.
I just got my eyebrows done. Come on, guys.
Come on.
All right. Tie ball game 10-10, 7:15 left in the third. 1st and 10 for the Packers.
Right now it's Green Bay's ball from their own 17.
Play action boot.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh.
Woo! Finally get one downfield.
Oh, horse collars, sir.
Look at my boy fired up. I love it.
By Marcus Peters. Biggest play of the night.
That's absolutely huge. And again, great scheme call. If we roll it back, we're going 2 hours tonight. What the heck? I want you to see, though, the play call, because I think they were setting up a screen pass on the right, but they had an option to go back left. Let's see if there's a screen setting up on the right here real quick. Again, go 50, volume down. Watch this screen set up on the right here. So it's a play action T screen right here. See how they're setting it up over there? That's what it looks like to me. Well, he never really turned for the screen, though, did he? Maybe it was some kind of maybe just a full play action boot. That could have been it. But again, just a great job on LaFleur scheming that open.
Look at that throw by Jordan, man.
Yeah. Seriously. Right. He's got arm talent, bro. And I know it was all over the scouting report. Look at that juke right there, too, man.
If Scoot stays healthy, man, he's going to the Pro Bowl. That's all.
No doubt about it. Right there, look at that. Left his jock strap at the 40-yard line. This right here looks like
got struck by lightning.
Yeah, is that a new dance? Look at this.
Yeah, they call that the boom roasted dance.
Look at that hip kicked out. Love it. I wish he would have cut further across the field, but same time, if he doesn't horse collar there, that's 6.
Which wasn't called either.
No, it was. It was. Too.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, you see the flag come in right there. I thought it wasn't called either, but it. All right. 3rd and goal now. So they obviously sputtered down here inside the 5, inside the 10, 5:24 left.
They need a 6.
Sprint left.
Love. End zone.
Oh, what the?
That's tough.
Complete to the cheerleader.
Look, my man lost his hat.
No flags.
All right, so you got to settle for 3. Anders Carlson was so good the first 5 weeks of the season, bro. It's wild.
The gimme is good from Anders Carlson.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Raiders. 5:16 left in the 3rd.
Packers back on top by 3. Hand to Jacob.
Oh,
boy. Man, he cooked Ja, bro. Yeah, he cooked Jair on that one, brother.
Yeah. It was frustrating watching Ja play in the first half for sure. He had some good games in the second half, but again, this is what we're talking about. He kind of makes a business decision up here too. So look, you need to be attacking right here, right? He's just kind of yeah.
That's exactly what we talked about when we drafted Javon Bullard. They would not stop and hesitate there. And again, I'm not throwing shade on Jair. I'm just saying that we drafted a couple of dogs that are going to look at that and they're going to absolutely blow that play up 3 yards in the backfield right there.
I think Ja just remembers what happened the last time he flew in leading with the shoulder.
Yeah.
And I think that goes through his head when he's on the field.
And can you blame him, right? Like,
no, I don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 3rd and 4 for the Raiders on the Packer side of the field.
Bring a guy like Jacobs to the ground.
That's just Preston getting too aggressive on that play. You got to know you've got help on the outside here. You can't – you see how he got way too far out there? Like, you got to hug the inside. You see what I'm saying right here, fellas? Like, you just get swallowed up on that wide receiver screen.
Myers first down. With blocking in front of him.
All right, 2nd and 10, 2:38 left in the third. This is the play everybody hated. This was Preston Smith in coverage again. And again, the big problem that everyone had with it was, do we not have some kind of adjustment? It took the second half of the season before they actually had a play call where they could adjust to it. But essentially what you've got here is you got a call where Preston's got to – if Preston doesn't go out there, nobody's covering Tay, right? And again, this is damage control at this point. And this is where, as Matt LaFleur being the head coach, you've got to see that too and go, timeout, coach, timeout. Like, you can't have that. I mean, there's no shot. They knew that was by design. The Raiders seen something and said, hey, if we flex him out with this certain personnel, this certain look, we're going to get an OLB out there. Why don't we throw 17 in the slot?
Yep. That was the first time we saw Adams in the slot, I think, that day.
May have been.
To the 16.
You seen Rasul?
They got up like, really? Really? That's who you put on me?
Right. You can see Rasul yelling at somebody there too. So there may have been some kind of miscommunication there as well. 3rd and 3, 35 seconds left in the third quarter. They're now at the Packers' 9-yard line. I remember that play too. It was all Keyshawn.
Is that Keyshawn or Rasul throwing a temper tantrum?
It was Rasul throwing the temper tantrum because watch Keyshawn right here. What's crazy is later on in the week, Rasul and them talked about it, said they seen that exact look. They got the exact look they wanted. They knew what they were going to do here. This is just going to be, I think, a little underneath route, and it's designed for, I think this is Keyshawn here, to jump the route. And watch Key.
Oh.
It's that. No, it's him. So see how he went behind? So he was playing the slot there. See how he went behind the receiver? And Soul was expecting him to be aggressive here. That's what Soul's pissed off about. Watch Soul right here. See him throw his hands up like what? Because it wasn't his assignment. It wasn't Keyshawn's assignment to play outside leverage there. All right, 1st and goal.
Johnson in the game. 1st and goal from the 2. Jacobs.
There's that patience we talked about, boys, with Josh Jacobs. Yep. Let's talk about that for a second. Again, it doesn't look like a whole lot's going on there, but look how patient he is in the backfield. I mean, you see, look at Eric Wilson too, by the way. My man is up in that gap, right? And look at Josh Jacobs going a little step, patience. All right, yeah, let's clean that up. Here we go, touchdown. I'm excited to see what he does in this zone running scheme. All right, 3rd and 7 for the Packers. 14-13 left, down by 4.
Coming out of his break, boy, that was well timed.
Good timing, great ball.
Perfection to Dontavian Witt.
All right, 2nd and 4, 12:56 left, down by 4.
Woo! Dobbs.
First down.
Gets tackled. See where they put it down.
Ad spot.
All right. 3rd and 4, 10:45 left, same drive. Going to empty set here.
Sidearm.
Yeah, good hands by Musgrave, too. What a catch.
First down. There's the rookie Musgrave.
All right, 1st and 10, 10:05 left, down by 4.
They go back to 3 tight ends. It's a big play action, and here it is.
13 personnel.
Love.
Now, I remember this play. This is what frustrated the hell out of me. What they expected to do here, if I remember correctly, they've got 2 – I think it ends up being 2 rookie tight ends, but the goal here is for Ben Sims to sift across and block Max Crosby. Not a good matchup. Good luck with that. And look, you got DeGuara coming over too. So I knew there was 2 tight ends here. The goal was DeGuara and Ben Sims to seal the edge against Max Crosby.
Back to 3 tight ends. It's a big play out.
Engages, shids, dips,
and beats both of them.
Yeah, he's a monster, bro. Max Crosby's so good. I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea. If that was designed during the week, like, hey guys, look, let's put 2 tight ends.
We'd have been better off just lining both of them up on that side of the field.
Absolutely.
Love, sex, Crosby.
And guess what? We were talking about just getting too cute.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. 2nd and 17, 9:21 left.
He's got 4 tackles for a loss tonight. That's his first sack. Love protected.
Oh, no.
Second for Spillane.
Dump truck again.
Yep.
That's Jordan doing what you say, though, Clayton. You know, game on the line, think play or not play. He's trying to get it to Scoot there.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, he forced it in there. Ball gets batted up.
Yep.
Kind of a freak play, but at the same time, you throw into coverage, bad things are going to happen, right?
Kind of how our season ended. Same kind of deal.
Yeah, no doubt.
Get one to Watson.
Down by 4, 7:59 left, 3rd and 3 play for the Raiders. Let's roll it.
Garoppolo is in trouble.
Let's go. Rashawn Gary.
Mama, there goes that man.
So the defense, 4th quarter, gave you a shot to win this game, right? I mean, we would all agree, correct?
Yep.
You're down 17-13, 5:50 left. Get the ball back to your Rashawn Gary had so many 3rd down sacks this year, man. I mean, I think of Detroit, Thanksgiving Day. We've seen it in the last couple of games here. I think he had a couple of sacks, at least 1 sack against Chicago in week 1, where it's just timely 3rd down sacks to end drives. But 3rd and 10 play here for Jordan, if I remember correctly. Again, you're behind schedule here. Good things typically don't happen. Let's see what happens. Look at that deep drop. My God. It was more of an 8-step drop.
Love airs it out for Watson. It's not there.
Oh, boy.
All right, 2nd and 8, 4:56 left. Raiders up by 4. They get the ball back now.
Frustrated. He wants more than 1 sack, but he has been in Jordan Love's face all night. Over the middle, Jacobs. First down.
Hey, Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield. You're going to see it in Green Bay this year.
As bad as they played in this game, they're only down 4 with 2.5 minutes left. You know,
Tim, we said it every week last year. I got tired of saying it. It's like, guys, these are 1-score games. We're the youngest team in the league. I got roasted for it, but that's the way I felt all year long. All right, 3rd and 6 play, 2:35 left. Raiders trying to put it away here.
Wow.
Abdullah didn't get.
Pretty sure he jumped, didn't he?
It sure looked like it.
They didn't call it. Got a break there. 52-yard tip from Daniel Carlson here at the 2-minute warning.
2-yard drive by Daniel Carlson. He hits the uprights. No.
Another stop by the defense. All right, so you got another shot. You were at your own 49-yard line, 1:51 left in the 4th quarter, 2nd and 3 play.
I guarantee you that Josh McDaniels is going through all that again right now. 1 timeout, by the way, in the pocket for the Packers, and a good job by Patrick Taylor.
Terrible spot.
With that spot.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. What are you doing?
Don't you guys focus? Don't you say a thing about the gender, please?
Hey, down judge number 53. That's a bad spot.
The ball crossed the sideline. Fast to the line of game. It's first down.
There you go.
All right, boy. Thank you.
They overrode it. Okay, yeah.
Good Lord.
So 147. Yeah, I know it. I don't want to know. 147 left in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 play for the Packers. Trying to drive here.
Raiders playing coverage. Everybody.
Look at Musgrave.
To the 40.
All right. It's 3rd and 2. 122 left.
They hand for the first down to Patrick Taylor.
All right. 51 seconds left. 3rd and 10. Not sure what happened. We got backed all the way up to 3rd and 10. Game on the line here. Down by 4.
4-man rush.
Oh, Lord.
Love. End zone.
What?
Good night.
I don't want to hear anybody saying that was on Christian Watson, because it wasn't.
No, it was, and that was the thing. This guy can't go up. This is disgusting. He can't time a jump ball. Bro, it was underthrown. it was underthrown. It was thrown late and it was underthrown. Period.
Good shot of Max Crosby there. If you go back once real quick and pause that. Little fun factoid. I believe this was the last game he wore that face mask. The league made him not wear that face mask anymore. Apparently it wasn't regulation. Looks a little unique.
It does look unique. It looked like somebody was on the reefer when they made that thing.
Yeah. So if you look later in the year, he's got a whole different setup. So I guess he was trying something out and didn't pass the inspection committee apparently.
Got it.
That looks crazy though. That looks like a defensive back's helmet or something.
Yeah, very odd. So again, that's how it ends there in Oakland, or I'm sorry, in Vegas. I'm dating myself here, right? So Packers lose 17-13. Tim, you kind of hit the nail on the head, bro. With everything that went wrong, they were still in the game. You know, it is what it is. It sucks. It's a tough loss. Anytime your quarterback throws 3 interceptions, I believe you threw 3 interceptions if I remember correctly, and you only lose by 1 score, everybody else played pretty decent ball. You know, I think the defense played pretty well. And listen, we understand the Raiders, they weren't, the cream of the crop when it comes to the NFL. We all know that, but still, you can only play the opponent that's in front of you. Let's look at the box score real quick, get a quick recap. So Jordan Love was 16 of 30, 182 yards passing, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a rating of 32.2. That's yucky. A.J. Dillon, 20 carries for 76 yards, averaged 3.8 a pop with 1 touchdown. Not great numbers, but again, when you need 3 yards, he'll get you 3 yards. When you need 5 yards, he'll get you 3 yards, right? That's the type of game there. Jordan Love had 2 carries for 37 yards as well. And Christian Watson, they tried a little end around. It's probably one of those plays where we said, we don't know how they lost yards, but they did. That's it. So Christian Watson finished the day with 3 catches for 91 yards, a long of 77, had 7 targets, 3 catches. Luke Musgrave, 6 catches for 34 yards, on a long of 8 though, but obviously checking it down to him most of the day. Had 7 targets for 6 catches off 7 targets. Josiah Aguara, that 1 catch for 19 yards as well. The thing that sticks out to me there, they didn't get Jaden Reed involved hardly at all. Only 2 targets all game. That's just kind of inexcusable, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the defensive side of things, when we look at tackles and sacks, Isaiah McDuffie, there you go, led the team with tackles, 10 tackles. Rudy Ford with 9. Looks like McDuffie had 1 tackle for a loss as well. Kenny Clark had 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, and a QB hit. Quay Walker had a tackle for a loss. Rashawn Gary had 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 quarterback hit. Preston Smith, 3 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 pass deflection, and 2 quarterback hits. Kingsley and Igbare, 3 tackles, 1 sack. I mean, we got in the backfield, fellas. 2 tackles for a loss, 1 quarterback hit. I'm really excited Kingsley and Igbare is ready to go for camp. That's such a positive. Jonathan Owens, 2 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss there. So that's pretty much what happened with the sacks. Now, when you go to the interceptions, obviously Rudy Ford in the interception column again, 1 pick on the day. Dump truck Spillane got 2 picks off of Jordan. The other was Amick Robertson when it comes to those interceptions. As far as punt returns, Keyshawn only had 1 punt return. It was for 2 yards. Kicking field goals, Anders Carr. Notice this too, there's no kick returns for the Packers. So they didn't give Keyshawn a single chance. Who did Keyshawn play for before the Packers?
Raiders. Right.
They were like, yeah, we're not giving him a shot today.
The Raiders.
Can I bring up one point that kind of scares me a little bit?
Yeah.
I noticed there's a pattern when we don't have Aaron Jones. It's like on the games that we don't have Aaron Jones, we don't run the ball enough. We don't capitalize on the run game. I really do. I know we replaced him with Jacobs, obviously, but I am a little bit fearful of the fact that Aaron Jones was a big powerhouse to how our offense operated. And I think that we maybe, I don't know. I really do. I don't want to look back and get any kind of drama going. I think that we should have figured something out there. I really do. Even if we got Jones or Jacobs, I don't know. He seemed like he was a very big catalyst to everything that we did on offense. He was the spark plug. If that was, I think the spark plug, that's what he was. He was just that little difference. Yeah. And I don't know. I hope that we can replace that.
You did it. You have the right approach though, if that's your goal. If you're going to let a guy like Aaron Jones go, you got to get two guys in here, and we
Right.
did. We went and got Jacobs, and then we made a monster pick in the draft. And I think we got our best chance of trying to, replace the. I guess I don't want to say replace Aaron Jones because you're not going to replace him, but
Right.
you can replace the production. You can find a way to try and fill that void. So
Yep, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, I think in this game you really saw. Honestly, we kind of saw the opposite. We saw a lot of tight ends. We saw a lot of running the ball, and then we kind of stunk it up with our receivers, like Clayton was saying. We didn't get Reed really involved in the game. Even Tay Wicks only had a couple of catches. It seemed tough to spread the ball around when it came to our receivers, but our tight ends and our running backs were involved offensively the whole game, really.
Yeah, and you see Christian Watson. It just when he was healthy early in the season, Jordan tried to force the ball to him. He really did. 7 targets. Outside of him getting 7 targets, Musgrave getting 7 targets. I mean, everyone else is. We see 1. Dontavian Wicks only 1 target. Jaden Reed only 2. Patrick Taylor had 5. Romeo Doubs had 4. Romeo Doubs 4 targets, one catch for 4 yards. I mean, and he's been the first 4 weeks. Obviously, he really stood out. I mean, he carried the load for that receiving corps for sure. So yeah. There you go. And as far as the special teams, one more time there, Anders Carlson, just want to point out 2 for 2 on field goals, 1 for 1 with extra points. So if we can get Anders Carlson to play like he did in the first half, we're okay at kicker. The problem is the second half happened, right? I think he missed a kick in each of the last 11 games or something like that, if I remember correctly. Now, most of them were extra points, but it is what it is. So parting thoughts, fellas. We are at 1 hour 4 minutes. This went good, man. We got a bunch of people in here watching too. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. What you got, Tim? Anything else you want to add, bub?
Yeah, I mean, you learn by making mistakes. If you're not screwing up, you're not learning. Nobody's perfect. You're not going to be perfect. And I'm not just talking about Anders Carlson here. I think he got enough of the yips out of him last year. Hopefully no yips this year. And it's frustrating when you see a guy, drilling 58 plus yarders, no problem. And then he can't make an extra point. You start to wonder what's going on. But we got to remember, with place kicking, that's a unit. That's you've got a guy snapping the ball, you got a guy holding the ball, you got a guy kicking the ball. All 3 of those things have to be in sync. So it's not just on Anders Carlson. And the same analogy goes for the whole team. The Packers struggled early last year, and that set them up for the hell of a run that they had to close out the season because they continually improved week by week. And, there's a lot to be excited for 2024.
Absolutely. Jacob, what you got, bub?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'll just mimic what Tim just said. Also, it's unbelievable the fact that we have 238 people following us right now, watching live, when YouTube decided to cut our knees out underneath from us. So, if you guys
hey, that's just the way we talk in the clink.
If you could, I mean, it means the world to us. Obviously, that means that people like what we do, and we appreciate that very much. We don't take it for granted by any means. So if you could follow us on YouTube, don't follow us. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on X, follow us on Rumble, and who knows? Maybe there will come a day when we don't need to bow down to the overlords of the YouTube BS. It makes me so mad that I can't even articulate it right now. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging with us. So thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And it sounds like we'll be back on YouTube in roughly 7 days. We'll see if we can comply, if we can figure out what the heck they want us to do. But the reality is there's no communication there. So we'll keep on doing what we do and roll along and see if we can continue to make the show better. Again, that's all we can do. But like Jacob said, thank y'all for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. I think X is absolutely huge, how they've really changed things over there. Rumble's a really cool platform too, still growing. So we'll just keep spreading the word about Rumble. We'll be back on YouTube in 7 days, and we'll see if it sticks. So with that being said, though, thank you all for hanging out with us. Tim, if you would help me out, bro.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go, Pack, go.
The power sweep. Actually, it's the lead play in our offense. We ask our YN or a tight end to open up somewhere between 6 feet and 9 feet. Get an isolation with the linebacker. Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.